I wanted to take a look at and discuss an article that I found to basically explain the entirety of what happens in the brain when porn users go back for more and more, and why they do that. So I wanted to read a couple of paragraphs of this article. The article comes from BeliefNet.com, and this particular article is posted by Linda Mintle. So it basically explains everything, like I said. Now let's take a look here. And when someone clicks away at image after image, sexual behavior becomes boring, and more is needed to stimulate the pleasure centers of the brain. This is why digital porn users become more and more deviant in their choice of images. This is the exact thing that happened to me. I always stuck with typically the same thing, which was women, I guess you would say, and then I'm due to my audience, I'm not going to say exactly what, go into detail about that because that could be triggering. It would trigger myself even to think about it. But basically, yes, my choices of the furthest I'm going to say is maybe poses. They got more and more deviant. So definitely that happened to me. Let's go on here. They have built a tolerance to average sexual images and need more to kickstart the hormone surges of pleasure. So we are literally building a tolerance to the extremely sexual images that we're seeing. That is extremely sad, in my opinion. That's really sad. That's what porn does to us. Is it builds a tolerance that just, it's very sad to hear because when the internet didn't exist, what did people do? Okay, they maybe could get a magazine, but before magazines were around, what did people do before that? Okay, so people back before that had to actually put forth effort to make their dreams or their role-playing realities, whatever you want to call it, come true. So they had to seek it out in real life. So the internet completely removes the effort and gives you what you want right there and immediately. Whatever fetish you want to. And we have so much in 2018. We have so many different things to pick from. Let me read on here. When porn users have their brains scanned, the same pathways involved in drug and alcohol use are being used. The activation of these pleasure centers happens quickly and response times are strong, making addiction possible. The brain wants more and needs more graphic and deviant pictures to be stimulated. The effects are toxic, and those who use digital porn behave like addicts. And I would completely agree. I considered myself a complete 100% addict. And I know that I still have to be careful so I don't fall back to that, but I had the craving. I always had the craving to watch videos and look up pictures. Always had that strong craving. I didn't care about anything else. I just wanted that. I just wanted to sit on my computer and look at more and more porn. That's what I literally did. Is I sat on my computer on days I maybe didn't work or something like that, and I just binged out. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't talk to any family members, nothing. I just completely binged out. So I can relate entirely to this article. To basically conclude this article, I want to read a little more at the end here. Regardless of the classification, porn use can interfere with real-life sex. Porn activates the reward centers of the brain and provides a temporary buzz. It activates a protein that is responsible for turning on long-term cravings, driving the user back for more. And when it is released in the brain, it sticks around for a while, creating a craving for more. The more you crave, the more porn you view. The brain has learned to seek the reward, and that pull can create compulsive use. So, about the compulsive use part, I would say that porn and relationships definitely don't mix. You have to have you have to commit to one or the other. Porn is such a compulsive pull. At least in my experience, it felt extremely compulsive that it's just something like I had to do to get through my day, or if I didn't do it, I don't know what, what would happen. You know what I mean? It was kind of that bad. But and not only that, but the biggest thing actually one of the biggest things that keeps me away. There's a lot, there's so many things, but sex is far more enjoyable when porn isn't in my life. I'm far more into it. I'm far more, I don't know how to really put it. Everything feels better. Everything feels more natural. And it's fulfilling. It's far more fulfilling than viewing porn. And this is what also I really want to say is that what is the point really in porn? What is the point just to watch it? There really isn't any point, because we only suffer more from it. It's not a long-term solution. We're gonna suffer from it. It gives us short-term pleasure so we can avoid our reality or whatever we have to work on in real life. That's not the way to go. Unfortunately, I can sympathize with anyone who is an addict or has been one, because I understand it. I understand it, but I would say that, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I would say that if someone understood that but still kept going back to it, then I wouldn't sympathize with them, because they need to understand, what they're doing isn't going to bring them fulfillment. It feels fulfilling when you watch it, for sure, because your brain is just buzzing, going crazy with all these, the reward centers lighting up, because your brain thinks you're receiving sex from, who you're viewing on the monitor or whatever device you're using. So yeah, I mean, I'm very interested in this realm of discussion. I'm really interested in bringing awareness to more people on what porn really does to our brain and our life in general. And I mean, I search with an image blocker Chrome extension, so I go to these websites with there's no pictures. I was a complete 100% addict. I have to, protect myself so I don't fall back to that. But just reading through this, it would seem so, what's the word? Persuasive. It would be so persuasive, in my opinion, to read this. I would at least think, oh, whoa, really? All this is happening? I mean, the biggest part to me is the addict part. It's similar to drug and alcohol use. I mean, that's insane. And porn isn't like a tangible thing. Like, it kind of is if you consider the electronics and whatnot you're viewing it on, but is it really tangible? No, but you still ingest it. You still consume it through the eyes. It's simply through the eyes. I mean, it's no different. Is it really any different than someone using a needle? Well, not in my opinion, because clearly both people in both situations are getting their high.